From the guys who brought you Fight Night picks, and for a short time, hitting above the Mendoza line, comes the Allen Brothers' next project. Let's tear the cover off and join in 15-minute card breaks.
And welcome back to another episode of 15-minute card breaks, Matt. I could not be more excited for today's episode. We have a blast from the past. And listen, if you haven't watched some of the videos, we opened a 2006 hobby box of Topps. Well, 2006 Series 1. Now, Matt, when you and I were into baseball, it was right around that era. You were a big Derek Jeter fan, Mariano Rivera.
Okay.
What was it about the era in and around 2006 that was so special?
It just felt like there were a lot of teams that they were sort of developed together. You know, every team had like their 5, 6, 7 guys who had all played together since they were rookies and then developed together. And then they went out and maybe got 1 or 2 big free agents that would put them over the top. Now, I still like the Yankees, but that's not really a big problem with the team. It's not this same team year in and year out. It feels like every single year there's this big war between the front office and the players, between who's going to get paid, if they're going to go get new talent. It's just this weird matchup now. It just sucks. I wish we could go back to those simpler years of the Jorge Posadas, the Mariano Riveras, but unfortunately, those are long past.
Now, while your Yankees might be like the NHL's Vegas Golden Knights, it's just fire sale and restart. Back in 2004, teams weren't quite like that. We got a set or a hobby box, Topps Heritage 2004 baseball. It says, look for real ones, autographs, Willie Mays, Stan Musial, Harmon Killebrew, Yogi Berra, and many more. Look for randomly inserted real one autograph cards and other great inserts. There's 24 packs in this, and each of them have 8-gram pieces of gum. We're going to be chewing some gum. We're going to be opening some cards. This one was not the cheapest box. They picked it up from D&M Sports Cards in actually Halifax, Nova Scotia. There's one in Halifax, there's one in Moncton. They're really great to deal with. I've gone to both stores. They have a lot of throwback cards. They also got the 2006 Topps. They've got some other cards from like 2004 to 2007. So if you're looking for them there's a lot of great stuff. Matt, let's do this on camera. We're going to open the first one in person, live and in person. We're going to pull out the cheese cleaver and open this one up. And we're going to eat some gum for the fans out there. And let us know, where can they find us on Twitter and Instagram?
Matt Allen FNP and Craig Allen FNP. Normally we're on there talking about MMA and whatnot, but if you have any questions or comments about cards, send them our way.
All right, now, there's a little bit of tape on there, but we're going to pop this one open. You can see it. Boom. Now, that's a nice looking box. That's just straight up a nice looking box. The packs are very nice. And in this, we have a Topps 1 double header card inside. So you're supposed to get one of these in every single box, the double header from 2004. What are we going to get? Todd Helton on one side, first base Colorado Rockies, and then you can see Luis Gonzalez. Luis Gonzalez and Todd Helton on that one. That's a pretty cool one. I mean, both guys had really interesting careers. One a Colorado legend, one a World Series champ with the Diamondbacks. What are you thinking about that one?
No, it's a cool card, cool box topper. Yeah, good way to start this.
All right, Matt. So our first pack, Topps Heritage 2004. It says right on it, bubblegum. We're going to crack this pack. Oh, boy. Here we go. First one, you've got your 17-year-old gum. I'll give you that. First card, Brandon Looper. Second one, Jamie Moyer.
Wow.
Yes. Next one, Damian Miller. Doug Mankiewicz, who would end up being a champion that year. A Torrey Hunter. This one's a Topps Heritage. It's chrome on the outside, if you can see that. That's a special one there. You've got John Vanderwall. You've got Michael Young, classic Rangers legend. And then you've got Mark Loretta. Pretty good cards. How's the gum?
I regret it immediately turned to liquid, and it's so gross.
All right, Matt. I'm gonna do one myself too, just so the people can see it, and then we'll move forward. All right, our second pack of Topps Heritage. Mm-hmm. These are like real wax packs right here. I'll put the gum aside for just a second.
Probably a smart move.
Eric Munson, Jason Kendall. You got Derek Lowe with the Red Sox. They would end up being your champions that year in 2004. Matt Morris. You've got the special. This one is Omar Falcone.
Ooh.
Omar Falcone. Your next card, you've got Danny Kolb. You've got Brian Daubach. And then your last card here, Armando Benitez. Armando Benitez and the Mariners. Matt, I mean, so far through 2 packs, what are you thinking? I'll let you handle these.
I'm thinking I gotta spit this gum out because it's one of the most heinous things I've ever eaten.
All right. Oh boy. That is in there.
It's a texture thing. No, the whole thing. Come on, Craig. It's like a Pepto-Bismol was put in the oven and, like, reduced. It's tough.
That's 17-year-old gum.
Yeah.
So,
I don't have a hard time believing that.
tell me about these cards here.
They're really cool. I do like the throwback look that they all have. Now, I will be honest, we opened the Topps 2006 one earlier, and I do remember having a lot of those similar type cards growing up. These ones, I don't honestly feel the same level of nostalgia, but I honestly really like the cards.
I'm not swallowing this gum.
It turned to
We'll come
liquid.
back, we'll open them underneath, and as we always say,
Let's do
tear
the
the
cover
cover
off.
off. Alright, so we switched it on back. No tricks, no secrets. The 2 packs are out of there. We get some good cards so far. Like I said, I really like the look of this one. I mean, for 2004, some great stuff. I'd be lying if I said I can't wait to eat more of the bubble gum. But back in 2004, you know, you look through some of the different base cards, some of the short sets, the SPs, some autographs too. What are you thinking about this set that we have in front of us here?
Well, I'll be honest, Craig. I was 6 years old and don't have a lot of memories of that summer. But again, so many great star players playing around that time. I know you were a big David Ortiz fan at the time. I know things have changed. Big Blue Jays guy now. But, you know, Manny Ramirez, we got one of his cards in the last one.
I mean, our special one out of this one, Ricky Nolasco.
Ooh.
A young Ricky Nolasco. He's going to pitch for quite some time. Odalis Perez. You got a Placido Polanco, a guy who had a lot of tenure and staying power in the majors. And then our last one here, Nefi Perez with the Giants. And yeah, you bring that up. I mean, 2004, it was definitely a special time. I wore the Red Sox jersey for this one because, you know, I definitely grew up a Red Sox fan. And it was just a special year. I mean, even some of the players that we've seen so far, there's Torrey Hunter. You got Jeff Kent, Dodgers legend. Brandon Webb, that guy could pitch. Titus Meadows, can't say I had heard of him. Apologies. Rodney Choi Fu. I do not like those logos. Your next one, you have Elizardo Ramirez. You got Delman Young. That's a young Delman Young right there. And then your next one, Kevin Millwood. Kevin Millwood, a guy that would pitch a lot of innings in the majors. Matt, are you feeling like another pack of gum?
No, not at all.
No more gum.
No, I think that was a one-hitter quitter.
Kyle Davies. You've got Alfonso Soriano
Ooh,
with the
and
Yankees.
the Yankees jersey, too.
You got A-Rod with the Texas Rangers.
Ooh.
You've got Mike Gosling. You got Alfonso Soriano again. You've got Mike Mussina. You got Tim Salmon. And our last one here, Ramon Ortiz. So a lot of Yankees in that one.
Gotta love it,
Or future Yankees.
I guess.
So far, 2004 Topps Heritage. I'm liking these cards. I love the throwbacks, though. You got Donald Levinsky. Greg Maddux with the Braves. You got Tim Friend. Troy Glaus before he went to the Blue Jays. Austin Kearns. Oscar Villarreal. Mike Sweeney. And then our last one here is Matt Cata. Matt, have you heard of Matt Cata?
I have
you guys,
not.
Matts don't talk outside of work?
I mean, there'd be like a billion of us communicating at all times.
The Eladius. I still have some residual gum in my teeth. Matt Clement. Sean Chacon. Jesse Roman. Andy Chavez with the Expos. Now, Matt, this was just before the Expos left town. Look at that one. There's a neat Dodgers card. It says October 1955. Johnny Padres pitches a complete game shutout. That's a neat one. Look at that. We got a special card. Javi Lopez, catcher, authentic game-worn jersey.
There we go.
Back in 2004, Clubhouse Collection. Javi Lopez caught forever. Javi Lopez's record-breaking 2003 season, so it was a special one coming in, and we get a jersey card. Blue Jays legend, John Olerud, a guy that wore a batting helmet on first base. Juan Pierre, a guy that played forever, speedy as all get out. And Manny Ramirez. So, Matt, we got the Javi Lopez jersey card. That's a pretty good one so far.
Good pull stuff out of this box.
All right, our next one. How often do you get those ones? Could you tell me about that?
That's
That's a Clubhouse Collection.
So, out of the Clubhouse collections, those are...
Varies.
You have... Yeah.
It varies.
I wish I could give you a better answer.
Francisco Cordero, Casey Myers, Alex Clinton, Juan Castro, Tim Stauffer. You get a checklist. That's a thick checklist. Ryan Wagner, Fernando Tatis. Wow, with the Expos. And Tim Worrell. Now, Matt, your eyes lit up off camera about Fernando Tatis, but you got the original and not the junior there. Playing for the Expos.
I didn't think they were going to get a 4-year-old Spaceball card.
We're tearing off the cover. Our first guy, we have Andy Ashby, Bobby Abreu, Lance Nix, a young Lance Nix, Frank Catalanato, Blue Jays legend, with the greatest logo you've ever seen a team rock. We've got the parallel here. That one's Jay Gibbons. Jay Gibbons, you got a checklist. You've got 3 left. Bernie Castro, Shannon Stewart, and then our last one there, Julio Lugo. A young Julio Lugo, Red Sox legend. Red Sox legend Julio
I don't know
Lugo.
if I'd say legend.
All right, cracking some more. Let's tear the cover off. I cringe at the bubble gum now. Ben Grieve. Shake to go. I apologize. Hasegawa. Your next one, Tony Graffinino. Zach Day for the Expos. Grady Sizemore would have been an Expo. You got David Wells, but no, you don't. You have Boomer Wells. They put him as Boomer and not David, so that's interesting. Carlos Zambrano, and then Kip Wells. Matt, I don't know if it's me, but why Boomer Wells? Because it threw me for a loop seeing David and then a signature David, but we got Boomer Wells.
It's pretty cool. Like, if you're going to be Boomer, you know?
Okay, Boomer. All right.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
We get into another one here. We have Robert Fick looking into space. Roy Halladay, the Doc. I love that logo. I can't say that enough. Morgan Ensberg. You've got Jerry Hairston Jr. Man, Jerry Hairston, Scott Hairston. Just were around forever. Roberto Alomar with the Sox. Ken Macha. Nick Markakis. Holy smokes, that's a young Nick Markakis.
That's wild.
Let's look at it. I mean, he played 59 games the year before, so in his pro career, really young Markakis. And then Jeremy Burnitz with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Matt, so far, we got our jersey.
We have, yeah.
What are we thinking? Are we going to end up with like maybe a real one's autograph, a grandstand glory stadium seat relic?
So maybe the odds on those are 1 in 230 for one of the real one's autographs. So hopefully we can be one of the half percenters out there.
Marquise Grissom, Bobby Kilty, Eric Milton, Brian Pena, Javier Vasquez, Jose Contreras, and Reed Johnson. Love the steroid era Jays. Love that logo. And I just keep getting more of them so far. Frank Catalanato. You had Doc. Jorge Julio. You got Wade Miller. Jose Jimenez. Jason Jennings. A Jim Thome, and that's a new age Jim Thome. John Lieber for the Yankees. Chris Lubansky. And then Rene Rivera. Looking off to space. Rene Rivera. Matt, from the MMA world, we know Jorge Rivera. He coached a fighter who fought last weekend, and Chris Moutinho.
He did. Famously got spit on.
Aubrey Huff, Derek Lee, Brad Lidge, Eric Karros, commentator. You got a then and now. This one's Duke Snyder and Carlos Delgado with the Blue Jays.
Only a 1 in 15 chance of pulling one of them.
Heidi Onomo, Shane Spencer, and Jake Peavy, a young Jake Peavy.
A crazy man on the mound.
He was intense, and at the end, he didn't have the velocity, but he had the command.
He did. Sometimes it's all that matters.
Travis Lee, Corey Koski, Todd Hollinsworth, Bill Miller, Carlos Delgado, New Age with the Blue Jays, Claudio Vargas with the Expos, Omar Vizquel, and Jesse Foppert. Foppert. Do you know Jesse Foppert?
I can't say I've ever heard of him.
Matt's never met Jesse Foppert.
Now, he probably has no idea who I am either, so.
Now, we had a great pick in our 2006. We ended up with a Matt Stairs.
We did.
That is a Major League rematch. Jose
hometown
Reyes, Adam Dunn, Jose Vidro, Kenny Perez, Adrian Beltre, Yugeth Urbina, Casey Kochman, and Nick Harden. Nick Harden, is he related to the other Harden?
James? Probably not.
Probably not. All right, cracking some more wax, getting some more bubblegum. Jay Gibbons, Luis Gonzalez, Dave Crothers, Tony Batista. You end up with a neat one there. That's Rich Aurelia, Troy Percival, Trot Nixon, and Reggie Sanders. Reggie Sanders, Matt, Trot Nixon.
I remember how big of a deal he was.
Trot Nixon, no batting gloves, a little bit of pine tar, a lot of pine tar.
Pretty cool move.
Frank Thomas, Rocco Baldelli, Jim Thome. Man, these are legends. Carlos Quentin, a young Carlos Quentin.
Wow.
Barry Zito, Joe Borowski, Carlos Guillen, and Jose Guillen. So, I mean, that one was a pretty good one. If you're looking to add to a base set, we just ended up with some legends right there and some Hall of Famers, too.
Yeah, that was a really interesting poll.
All right, we got some more gum because, of course, Miguel Tejada, Orlando Cabrera, Francisco Rodriguez, Lance Carter, John Burkett, B.J. Upton, a young Marvin Upton Jr.? Was that it at the end? What? Khalil Green and Grady Little. Matt says what? But yeah.
I forget. Yeah, I do remember he had like an Ocho Cinco phase.
No, it was Melvin Upton. Sorry, Melvin Upton Jr. is what he went by at the end instead of B.J. Upton. Moises Alou. Oh, Bartman. Joe Creedy. Vernon Wells with the Jays. John Knott. You got a throwback. That one right there to Don Newcomb. You've got Jared Washburn, Randy Wynn, and then Scott Spezio. Scott Spezio. These names bringing back a lot of memories. Spezio.
So last 4 packs?
Reed Johnson. Nick Johnson. So we talked about Nick Johnson, a forever Nat, and then eventual Yankee, but with the Expos. Eric Chavez, Mike Cameron, Deontay Navarro, a young Deontay. We got an autograph, man. Davey Johnson. That's cool. Davey Johnson. This one's a legend. Davey Johnson. Davey Johnson, eventual
Manager.
Nationals manager.
So which one's that?
Wow. We ended up with a Davey Johnson. This one is a Topps Legends.
Topps Legend.
Man, that is really cool. We'll bring that one up on the graphic there. On-card Davey Johnson autograph.
That's a really cool one.
Davey was an underrated ball player and a noteworthy manager. As an Orioles second baseman, he won 3 straight Gold Gloves in 1973, slugged 43 homers. Later as a skipper of the Mets, he presided over the 1986 World Championship team. Davey Johnson autograph.
That's
Man,
a really neat one.
that's the coolest one we got so far.
No doubt.
That's the best card we've got. Fernando Viva, Will Ledesma, and Ray Ordonez. Yeah. We've got a great one there in Davey, who's still in the Navy Johnson, a guy that, ended up managing the Nats, ended up having the best teeth in baseball. Like, Davey freaking Johnson now. For him, it's unfortunate because Dusty Baker ended up getting them the World Series. John Garland, Eddie Guardado, Eric Gagne, Canadian, Ben Davis, Sean Green, Orlando Palmeiro, Johan Santana, and Xavier Nady. Guy who patrolled the outfield with the Pirates, and Canada's Jason Bay. 2 packs left. Juan Encarnacion, David Eckstein, Christian Guzman, Johnny Damon, Matt Creighton, Billy Traber, Sidney Ponson, and Bobby Crosby. Sidney Ponson, you want to see a crazy stat line? Look up him. Sidney Ponson. Matt, 1 pack left. Let's see what we got here. Kyle Loesch, a guy that did it for, who was it, the Cardinals forever. Levon Hernandez. I love that card with the Expos. Jacques Jones, Octavio Dotel, Al Leiter, Blue Jays legend, and his son just got drafted. Billy Koch, Jack Cust, and our last one, Jack Wilson.
Pretty cool box all in all, though.
So overall, a really neat box. I mean, the 2004 Topps baseball, its heritage, and we ended up with a couple of really neat pulls. I mean, the one, Davey Johnson, second baseman, first baseman, you get the autograph. This one is the Topps Legends. And if you have a look at his baseball reference, OPS plus 110, so a little bit above average for his career. 4-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glover, 2 World Series, 2-time Manager of the Year, and a 27.4 career WAR. He's one of those guys where it always seems like everybody gets into the Hall of Fame, but Davey Johnson's pretty darn good numbers as a manager and as a player. You absolutely love to see it. If you want to compare him stat for stat, you can. Good fielder, winning those Gold Gloves. That's a pretty neat pull.
Pulled an autograph of him, too, as a very young man compared to what he looks like nowadays. So, yeah, cool card.
And then the other pull that we had, Javi Lopez, a guy coming out of Ponce, Puerto Rico. He's what right now? I mean, he made his debut at 21. He was a 3-time All-Star. He was a Silver Slugger. Won the 95 World Series. NLCS MVP. We end up with a Javi Lopez. It's called Clubhouse Collection Authentic Game Worn Jersey. And if you look at it, they bragged up his, 2003. He was an All-Star at age 32. He was fifth in MVP voting. He won the Silver Slugger.
Hit 43 home runs.
43 homers, 109 RBIs.
Batted 328.
Batted 328. The next year he hit 316. Almost half the home runs.
That's
but
a wild year, though, for a catcher to have behind the plate.
ended up playing for the Red Sox at age 35. Played 15 years in the majors from 92 to 2006. And really got his due for Rookie of the Year back in 1994. But Javi Lopez had one heck of a career. So did Davey Johnson, whether it was in the box on the field or sitting having a drink as a manager. But yeah, a really neat one. And if you like going back, looking at some of those, I'd say old school cards, but it's old school going for old school. It's 2004 going for a look of the 70s. And again, it's a pretty neat box right there. 24 packs, 8 cards per pack, so you get to build up some of that base set. I like the Jays cards that were in there. We ended up with some pretty nice Yankees hits too.
Yeah, no, overall, a really cool box. And yeah, I enjoyed the pulls we got. I thought that was a really neat box.
Absolutely love it. So if you like it, you hit us up in the comments section. Tell us what you liked. If you didn't, well, tell us what you didn't like, because how are we going to know? You can always find us at 15 Min Card Breaks on Instagram and Twitter. Matt, I can't wait to sit down and eat some of this bubble gum.
Enjoy.
It's going to be great. Make sure you check us out over there on the socials at Craig Allen FNP, at Matt Allen FNP. And as we always say with 15-minute card breaks, let's tear the cover off.